Third phase of moon, taking your calls live. We're taking your calls from around the world. Big news. Maybe something went down over there in Canada. Jack Head, Indian First Nation, Indian Reserve. I woke up this morning, lots of emails coming in. It seems like the place is kind of shut down. They're not letting anybody in or out of the reserve area, of the vicinity of where people claim that there is a disc that crashed into a frozen lake. And, I got a photograph this morning on location. I can't share it right now. Unfortunately, we're trying to get permission from the person that shot it. Basically smuggled out photographs because they're telling people from that area, do not take pictures, do not share pictures with anybody. Keep your mouth shut. Protect your country. Weird propagandas. Lots of gunshots was heard in the area. People have been detained. Third phase of moon standing by. We're waiting, hopefully, to get some callers from Winnipeg tonight. The number to call in again is 347-934-0378. We want to get to this basically continuing, flowing, ongoing breaking news story. Some people are claiming that this is a military exercise, and the military and the news have basically stated this. But then when you're hearing things from the ground that people are being detained and they're not allowed to take photographs, and hey, I don't think that sounds unusual to me. I've never got so much emails from an incident the next morning from the Indians themselves. They live in the reserve. They're not very happy about what the military is going down over there. It's their land, their sovereignty, and there's issues going on over there. Everybody, the number again is to call in is 347-934-0378. Share your opinion. We'll be right back. That's right, third phase of moon right here, going over what's been going on for the past 48 hours over there in Canada. This is just testimony from Mark, who got word from family members right there on the scene, and it was described as a disc-shaped craft seen crashing through the ice on a lake. At least one person got photographic evidence, but has since been detained by Canadian military. We might find out who that is. Hopefully the word gets out, and we'll hopefully get to speak with that person in regards to why he is being detained. This UFO crash in rural Manitoba, Canada, landed in a frozen lake, and the people have been informed at the reservation not to leave or anybody allowed in. And it's ongoing right now. People have been trying to get into calls over there, and the phones are down. We're getting confirmation from multiple sources on this. This is just not from Mark. This is from, like I said, multiple sources on the ground. I believe something's going on. Otherwise, if this is a simple military exercise, you would have thought the people would have been warned what was going down. And why are they telling people to shut up? They're telling people that this is maybe some kind of exercise, and they brought this plane down purposely to crash into a lake. And whatever kind of exercise that is, I'm not exactly sure why not just show us the pictures if that's the case. There's something going on over here. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. Share your opinion. Share. We'll be right back. Live third phase of moon, taking the calls from around the world. Information just in. Jack Head Reserve, alien-free since at least 1993. Again, Jack Head has been the subject of a previous report of an unidentified flying object. According to the website of Canadian UFO Survey, there was a single green light observed just over the area by a person in the community back in November 1993. There's been some activity over there. I don't know what's going on with Canada right now and Winnipeg and that area with the contacts. We're supposed to have a whole lineup, and it's not happening. Everybody, try to call in. Keep doing it. We're trying to call you. The number is 347-934-0378. Let's get to some callers in right now.
I'd like to actually know more what's going on with Canada. There's a lot more sightings going on.
Well, right now we had some breaking news just 48 hours ago of a flying disc that crashed into a lake over there in Canada, and the military is not letting anybody in or out of this reserve, and people are being told to shut up, not take any pictures, and we've been getting a lot of multiple sources this morning, people emailing us these kind of background stories of something really did go down. The military is blaming it on some kind of exercise where they purposely downed this aircraft into the lake. That doesn't make much sense to me, but if that's the case, well, let's see some of that footage. Why are they not letting people in, or not even, hey, it's an Indian reserve. These people that live there, that's sacred land, they're not much appreciating what the military's doing over there. So that's the breaking news going on, and for some odd reason, we had a big lineup from people from that area, and they were going to call in, and then all of a sudden, once the radio show happened, they went out. Censored, not exactly sure. We're a little upset that that's not getting out because we love breaking news. But in the meanwhile, let's get you stick around because I want to get into your story if we're going to get there because I know you got some incredible insight. But I think we have area code 619. Well, what's your take on this Canadian event going on right now?
Well, from this, the only information I'm getting, Blake, is by the way, it's Kelly from San Diego. But the only information I'm getting out of this is what you've been, what you guys been talking about. But I would like to have seen some information or pictures or something about that. Also, I had another question with that guy that you've been calling, that lives up there. If he is listening tonight, I'm just only wondering is is there reservation Indian land up there, or is it like the same here where the military government couldn't go in there land like that without permission? I was just wondering if Canada was a little different.
Well, that's a great question, Kelly. And from some of the responses that I've already got through email, is that you're exactly right. It's pretty much they would have to have permission from the Indian Reserve. They call themselves Jackhead First Nation, and they're Indian Reserve, and they go by a new Indian name, which we're trying to figure out the exact pronunciation of it. But I think it's the exact same thing. I'm not sure. What are the rights over there in Canada? Do they have freedom of speech and freedom of press? They can share pictures on a social media. In this case, some of the pictures I've seen today are scribbled out. Nobody wants to share. It's the first time I've ever seen where people are blurring their names out and getting this footage out because they're scared. They're scared of what the people and the military is telling them. They don't want them sharing anything. There's a sign, some kind of propaganda sign in one of these photographs, and they say, "Help your government. Keep your mouth shut." Something weird like that with a finger pointing at you. And I've never seen anything like it. It almost reminds me of the movie Close Encounters when they did this scare and made everybody believe that there's this big outbreak of a chemical, gas or something that was killing the cattle and it was dangerous to man. So they evacuated everybody and did this false flag so they could bring in the mothership. Anyway, it's really close to sounding like a movie, but it's almost, something's going down.
Yeah, I was also checking out your guys' video you guys put out about, all those lakes up there. I mean, Canada's got a lot of lakes, especially in that swampy area. I mean, it's not really swamp, it's, what do they call it? It's kind of like Alaska, too. I used to live out in Alaska, but it's real soft out there, the land and stuff, real marshy kind of, so there's a ton of lakes. That was pretty, if I was up there, I'd be trying to jump in a boat or something, unless it's really frozen up there, or snowmobile or something like that, get up in there.
We've been having some amazing technical difficulties, like I said, from Canada, breaking news. And, I'm kind of worried now, because these sources you can hear it in their accents. They have this Indian accent from that region, and they seem very concerned and a little bit of hesitance to share their story. It sounded like on the other end they were being acquisitioned from somebody else, and they didn't want to say who it was. And now I'm thinking to myself, was it the government? Was it the Canadian government telling them to keep their mouth shut? What's going on? Anyway.
Oh, you know it is.
Well, you know, it's just that I don't want
just like our government.
I don't like the intimidation factor, though. This is the intimidation factor is not cool in that sense. We've been putting out this stuff. Yeah, I'm not used to it. Let's just put it that way. In Third Phase Moon, we put it out there. We got this 48 hours ago. We brought it out. We have communications open with everybody that directly contacts us, and then when we call back, usually people pick up. And tonight's the first night. Now this is going down. So that's why I'm just a little bit, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the information that I'm not getting it. That's all.
Well, Blake, one thing too though is like it's a good thing that they did contact you in such an early state, because that way, because if they're up there, if it's like Alaska, like some of these villages, like some of the Eskimos, the natives that live on, I mean, they're distanced from anywhere else. The only way you can get in there is either biplanes, where you can just put what we call puddle jumpers, where they can put skis or floats on there. But if and if you got the information out maybe that early, I mean, maybe we can probably help save them or something, because if the government is trying to do a hush hush, or maybe even these people could disappear without us even knowing.
Well, I did receive a few pictures today, and unfortunately I can't share them to the world, because I'd like to. Obviously, that's our strict rule. We ask permission from the people who shot this stuff to allow us to share it to the world on Third Phase of Moon YouTube channel. But in this case, I have taken screen captures of what has been sent and put it somewhere safe. And in the meanwhile, they're interesting photos, no doubt about it. It shows in this one case where it looks like a snowfield over a lake, and then just a ripped-up plow, probably maybe a couple 100 yards. And then at the end of it is this weird-looking, it's not a disc in its own sense, but it has a structural look, and it's definitely not an airplane. Let's just put it that way. No way in hell are they going to tell me that's an airplane. And then there's shots of people racing to the scene in mobile jet skis over the ice, and then lots of military vehicles getting to the area. I've looked on the net. These pictures aren't on the net. Let me tell you that. They haven't been made public. I was sent to them by people that have captured this through friends from Facebook in the area, and they said they're not doing it publicly, but doing it in a personal inbox. Anyway, that's some of the information we're getting in. And
I mean, I'm military, so like I'm saying, you would know what if it was military, like what we know of anyway. There's the pictures of does it look man-made, or is it smooth looking? Could it be a composite material? What color was it?
Okay, Kelly, great questions. I got a series of photographs in front of me right now, and like I said, the names scribbled out, all scribbled, and what I'm seeing here, and what it looks like is a Chevy, a black Chevy with strange plates. That's one shot, and then the other shot shows like it's a green, another military vehicle towing jet skis, so definitely military. And then there's this strange bus that's following them as well. And it says, all I could read on it is, it says Canada, but it's all a snowy background, very snowy. And then there's this weird sign that says, your country needs you. Your country needs you, keep quiet. It's a weird sign. It doesn't make much sense. But Kelly, they're definitely military, and that was just one photograph. Let me get to this crash photograph if I could find it. There's a few emails that I got to go through to see if I could see this. I'm not going to name names on anything. Let's see. Doom UFO crash. I know where the crash happened. Crash in Manitoba. Where is the photograph? Jackhead UFO crash. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so again, there's another photograph, and it's coming through a cell phone, and the text reads, "They told us we have 1 hour to evacuate. That's all I'm allowed to say." And they got that out through the social text. So there's texting going on saying that they got 1 hour to evacuate the area, and that's all I'm allowed to say. That what's up with I'm allowed to say? I don't understand that. And then this other one, somebody sent this, and it says on the very top, "Don't send to anyone." We got it, and then somebody says, "Wow, you should sell this pic." Kidding, but that's how that went. And then the photograph, like I said, looks like a frozen lake with a major plow, and then it almost looks like a cruise ship, like a partial, like a tip of a cruise ship kind of sticking out at the end. You would imagine like, oh, maybe a cruise ship went down over there, but it's not a cruise ship. Cruise ships don't fly. There's no wings. There's no parts or anything. Just like at the very end, it looks like a cruise ship, a pyramidal look. So, yeah, I wish I could share this stuff, guys, and I would have put it out at Third Phase, but we can put it out, but that's the best I could describe some of the information that we're getting in.
What color is it?
That's a good question. You know, the colors are as if a cruise ship is, white, but then it has these, like, the portal windows portal windows around it, as you would see in a cruise ship. So that's pretty much what it looks like, a Carnival cruise ship, partially shown. But it's not a Carnival cruise ship. That's what, I don't know what it is. I'm just saying it would look like a part of it. I don't know what's underneath. It's maybe showing 10% of what's really, we don't see the other 90% underneath the water there. But it looks like something, or maybe there's nothing underneath it. Because if you look at how it's plowing through, right, Brent? That doesn't look like it penetrates through the ice. It almost seems like it's just kind of, it broke through it, but didn't quite, it's not underneath the ice, possibly. It didn't look like it cracked the ice open. So, yeah, it's mostly white, and it looks like there's a bunch of windows around it, like you would see on a Carnival cruise. Maybe about the size of half a football field, maybe a little bit larger. And maybe I would say, what would you say, how tall, 40, 50 feet? Let's see what we got here. We got some information coming in. So let's see, we got another caller. Let's go to 706. You're live, Third Phase of Moon.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi there.
I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Give me some perspective. How big is it? What's nearby? Give me scale.
Pardon me, can you say that again? There's a blinking going on in the background. Go ahead.
Give me an idea of how big it is. Give me some scale. How big does it look? What's nearby? Measure it against it.
My thoughts measuring it against it would be just to see it's like a flat lake bed, frozen. And if you would imagine, maybe it stretches out to the horizon. You really can't see the edge of it, except that this plowing motion. When you see the plow and you notice how maybe ice would break up through a plow, to me, it looks major and extensive at that moment.
Are there any Earth-based objects nearby, like a tree or a bush or anything like that? Or is it solidly in a lake?
Absolutely barren. There's no reference whatsoever, no vehicles in the shot. apparently this shot was taken immediately right when it happened.
Okay,
and I'm thinking the person that got this was a person that might have been arrested or detained. Detained is the word.
Yeah, there to see it first.
It's an amazing photograph. But like I said, I wish I could share it.
Are your phones?
Let me look at it. I'm going to pull it back up.
Are your phones on landlines?
Yes.
You have landline-based phones? If you want to get through to them, I would suggest you go to somebody near you who can three-way and try it from there, because your phones are probably blocked if you've been talking to people over there already. And my opinion would be that this is definitely a government operation. Something came down that is either extraterrestrial or enemy, and they are containing it.
Well, they're containing something, and
right.
And it's an amazing photograph. It doesn't look like, it's not in your face like, wow, that's a flying disc. Obviously, this is guaranteed. But then though, it's also provocative enough to go, hey, look, this is what it looks like with a cell phone capture when you're standing approximately, I'd say, about 100 yards away from it, Brent? Mm-hmm. And you see that the sun is, you see it seems like it's either early in the morning or, I'm not exactly sure when the event went down, but it's a daytime shot, maybe taken early in the morning or late in the evening.
Well,
it looks like there's a little...
There has been photos of videos of UFOs that are like diamond shaped. Maybe it's is it something like that? You know, the things that would look like a diamond in the sky or something. Does it have a shape like that?
Well, it has a pyramidal shape, but imagine the top cut off, like the dollar bill with the one eye. Take that part out, and then it's slightly taken off tilt, kind of like sunken into the ice bed. And the detail on it is not incredibly great by any means, but still, it's when somebody says don't send it to anyone, and then they're talking about that's pretty much information. And then and when people are saying they told us we have an hour to evacuate, and that's all I'm allowed to say. And then in the picture you see these 4 major military vehicles, straight out of Raiders of the Lost Ark, holding the Ark. If you could recall, cargo trucks, military green cargo trucks. 3 of them in succession, back going into one direction with the sun setting in the background, and again a snowy setting. It's just obviously military exercise. That's what they're saying. There's a military exercise going on down there, but a military exercise to recover something that's out of this world is more. Something's going on.
You know what? My question too. I mean, my answer to that might be too is if it is something that's military, it could be something that was actually a reverse engineer, maybe something like that. Because if it's a kind of a shape like that, it kind of reminds me of if it was like the stealth bomber or the stealth fighter. The stealth fighter is smaller and it's got more of a pyramidal shape. You know what I mean? If it's got windows like that, maybe it could. Maybe it is something like a reverse engineered vehicle that the military has been using.
You know what? My brother's an artist, and there's freedom of speech of art. So what we'll have to do is I'll have Brent look at this photograph, and then he'll draw an artist representation of what this photograph is. And if this photograph ever gets out through somebody else, or maybe the person that shot it, let's hope so. But we'll have it in the archives, and it'll be safe somewhere if that goes down. But I sure would like to share it. If anybody that corresponded and whomever corresponded with Third Phase of Moon within the past 24 hours, and we're not being able to communicate with you right now, I hope you listen to this on our YouTube channel and then know that what you sent us is important, and you need to find out where it came from. Again, It's been an incredible radio show with everybody tuning in, listening for, hopefully we're going to get some updates. But I appreciate everybody did, tune in and call and make this show happen. whether we had our guest from Canada that I think got shut down or was contacted by the government and told them, hey, don't talk. These photographs out of Jackhead First Nation Indian Reserve, the people over there say something went down. I believe them. I could hear it in their voices. I have photographic evidence of military action and of what looks to be some kind of, definitely, UFO embedded in a frozen lake. I want to get everybody in. 706, any last words for Third Phase? Go ahead.
It's a big mystery. I would stay on it if I were you. There's a definite cover-up going. The government doesn't go to this extreme trouble for something that they had planned on doing like that. They always announce when there's going to be a test or a practice of some sort. So they're looking. If people are listening to this show up there, anybody who sees anything should call in and help out with disclosure, because there's something definitely going on.
Hey, thanks a lot for those words, and everybody, I'd say take that advice. We're open. The lines are open. Our contact is always open. The Third Phase Moon YouTube. Go to the About page. We're there, and reach out because we want to share this, because I do believe something went down. Military exercise, people say we've heard that one before. Area code 6. Any last words? Go ahead.
I think I agree with the last caller. I mean, everybody should stay on their T's and don't the government's word for anything anymore. I mean, that's just. I mean, it's not going to happen. To be honest, it's going to take us to bring this stuff to the light.
Hey, man, breaking up, but I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. Area code, Kelly from San Diego. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, no problem, Blake. I'm always a listener every week, and I just hope that hope you guys get contact with the guy and get permission to show those pictures. And if not, I'd like to see Brent's drawing. You know, maybe when you guys post it to Facebook. Anyway, so everybody keep your eyes on the sky.
Thank you, Kelly, and thanks for asking some of the questions to the callers into Third Phase of Moon, alien abduction, and right now Brent's working on this rendition of what people claim to be. Not claim. This is a real photograph. Everybody, Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies, and remember, we're not alone. We'll see you again next time.
I think